Lee Scratch, Perry O.D., born Rainford Hugh Perry, 20th March 1936 to 29th August 2021, was a Jamaican record producer, songwriter, and singer, noted for his innovative studio techniques and production style. Perry was a pioneer in the 1970s development of dub music, with his early adoption of remixing and studio effects to create new instrumental or vocal versions of existing reggae tracks. He worked with and produced for a wide variety of artists, including Bob Marley and the Wailers, Junior Murvin, the Congos, Max Romeo, and many others. Early life. Rainford Hugh Perry was born in Kendal, Jamaica, in the parish of Hanover, the third child of Ena Davis and Henry Perry. His mother had strong African traditions, originating from her Yoruba ancestry that she passed on to her son. His parents were both laborers, but his father later became a professional dancer. Lee left school at age 15 and lived in Hanover, working as a laborer to help build the first road in Negril. He eventually wound up in Clarendon, where he got into the dance and music scene and earned the nickname the Neat Little Thing. Lee later moved to Kingston after experiencing a mystical connection to stones. When the stones clash, I hear like the thunder clash, and I hear words. These words send me to Kingston. Kingston means King's Stone, the son of the king. The stone that I was throwing in Negril sent me to King's Stone for my graduation, where he apprenticed at Studio One. Personal life. Perry was married twice. First to Paulette Perry, from whom he divorced in 1979. Perry resided in Einsiedeln, Switzerland, with his wife Mireille Ruegg, a Swiss woman whom he met in 1989. They had 2 children together, a daughter and a son. He had 4 other children by the names of Cleopatra Perry, Marcia Perry, Omar Perry, and Marvin, Sean Perry, in various parts of the world. In 2015, his new studio in Switzerland, The Secret Laboratory, was damaged by a fire that also destroyed his stage costumes and unreleased recordings. Career path. Perry's musical career began in the late 1950s as a record seller for Clement Coxone Dodd's sound system. As his sometimes turbulent relationship with Dodd developed, he found himself performing a variety of important tasks at Dodd's Studio One Hit Factory, going on to record nearly 30 songs for the label. Disagreements between the pair due to personality and financial conflicts led him to leave the studio and seek new musical outlets. He soon found a new home at Joe Gibbs's Amalgamated Records. Working with Gibbs, Perry continued his recording career, but once again, financial problems caused conflict. Perry broke ranks with Gibbs and formed his own label, Upsetter Records, in 1968. His first major single, People Funny Boy, which was an insult directed at Gibbs, sold well with 60,000 copies sold in Jamaica alone. It is notable for its innovative use of a sample, a crying baby, as well as a fast, chugging beat that would soon become identifiable as reggae. Similarly, his acrimonious 1967 single, as Lee King Perry, Run for Cover, was likewise aimed at Sir Coxsone. From 1968 until 1972, he worked with his studio band, the Upsetters. During the 1970s, Perry released numerous recordings on a variety of record labels that he controlled, and many of his songs were popular in both Jamaica and the United Kingdom, where his instrumental, The Return of Django, was a top 5 hit in 1969. He soon became known for his innovative production techniques as well as his eccentric character. In 1970, Perry produced and released the Wailers track Mr. Brown, 1970, with its unusual use of studio effects and eerie opening, highlighting his unique approach to production. In 1973, Perry built a studio in his backyard, the Black Ark, to have more control over his productions and continued to produce notable musicians. He also started the Black Ark label, on which many of the productions from the studio appeared. With his own studio at his disposal, Perry's productions became more lavish, as the energetic producer was able to spend as much time as he wanted on the music he produced. Virtually everything Perry recorded in the Black Ark was done using basic recording equipment. Through sonic sleight of hand, Perry made it sound unique. Perry remained behind the mixing desk for many years, producing songs and albums that stand out as a high point in reggae history. He was known to remain in the studio for days at a time, when mixing, taking no visitors or calls, and very little food or drink. By 1978, stress and unwanted outside influences began to take their toll. Both Perry and the Black Ark quickly fell into a state of disrepair. Eventually, the studio burned to the ground. Perry has constantly insisted that he burned the Black Ark himself in a fit of rage. After the demise of the Black Ark in the early 1980s, Perry spent time in England and the United States, performing live and making erratic records with a variety of collaborators. His career took a new path in 1984 when he met Mark Downey, Marcus Upbeat, with whom he worked on the 1986 album Battle of Armageddon. It was not until the late 1980s when he began working with British producers Adrian Sherwood and Neil Fraser, who is better known as Mad Professor, that Perry's career began to get back on solid ground again. Perry also attributed a later resurgence of his creative muse to his deciding to quit drinking alcohol and smoking cannabis. In 1998, Perry reached a wider global audience as vocalist on the track Dr. Lee, Ph.D. from the Beastie Boys album Hello Nasty. Later career. In 2003, Perry won a Grammy for Best Reggae Album with the album Jamaican E.T. In 2004, Rolling Stone ranked Perry number 100 on their list of the 100 greatest artists of all time. He teamed up with a group of Swiss musicians and performed under the name Lee Perry and the White Belly Rats and toured the United States in 2006 and 2007 using the New York City-based group Dub Is a Weapon as his backing band. After meeting Andrew W.K. at SXSW in 2006, Perry invited him to co-produce his album Repentance. The album was released on 19 August 2008 through Nanak Records, featured several guest artists including Moby, Ari Up, and bassist Josh Werner. In 2007, Perry's song Enter the Dragon was sampled on the track Carrots by Panda Bear of Animal Collective. As well, Perry was selected by Animal Collective in 2011 to perform at All Tomorrow's Parties, which the band curated in May 2011. Between 2007 and 2010, Perry recorded 3 albums with British producer Steve Marshall, who he met at Pyramid Arts Development in Hackney. The albums featured performances by Keith Richards and George Clinton. 2 of these albums, End of an American Dream, 2008, and Revelation, 2010, received Grammy nominations in the category Best Reggae Album. In 2010, Perry had his first ever solo art exhibition at Dem Passwords Art Gallery in Los Angeles, California. The show, titled Secret Education, featured works on canvas, paper, and a video installation. In 2011, The Upsetter, a documentary film about Perry, narrated by Benicio del Toro, was released worldwide in theaters after its premiere at the 2008 SXSW Film Festival. In 2012, Perry teamed with The Orb to produce The Orb Server in the Star House, which was recorded in Berlin over a period of several months. The album earned critical acclaim and featured the single Golden Clouds, named after the historic property located near Perry's hometown in Jamaica. The recording sessions were filmed by Volker Shaner and were part of the documentary Lee Scratch Perry's Vision of Paradise. In August 2012, it was announced that Perry would receive Jamaica's sixth highest honor, the Order of Distinction Commander Class. In October 2013, it was announced that Perry will be awarded a Gold Musgrave Medal later that month by the Institute of Jamaica. Perry performing in St. Petersburg, Russia, in August 2015. In 2015, the documentary Lee Scratch, Perry's Vision of Paradise, had a worldwide release in cinemas, as well as on DVD and VOD after premiering at the East End Film Festival in London. The film followed Perry for 15 years through his home in Switzerland and travels abroad. In September 2015, Perry and Subatomic Sound System launched a 40th anniversary tour for Perry's 1976 album, Super Ape. The tour began as part of Dub Champions Festival and continued over the next 2 years with more than 50 dates in North America and some isolated dates in Europe. In October 2018, Perry and Subatomic Sound System launched a 45th anniversary tour for the 1973 album Blackboard Jungle Dub, produced by Perry. 2019 saw the release of The Revelation of Lee Scratch, Perry, a film about the making of his 2010 album Revelation, directed by Steve Marshall for State of Emergency. The film features intimate behind-the-scenes footage of Perry at work in his home studio in the Swiss Alps and an in-depth interview with him. In April 2019, hip-hop producer Mr. Green announced that he would be doing a record made out of Perry's famous audio stems. In July 2019, Perry announced that the record is entitled Super Ape vs. Lou, Open Door, and that it would release through Tough Kong Records on 19 August 2019. The record combined over 20 different genres of music. Hypebeast said it was Perry's best work in years and that it pushes boundaries of various genres. The record reached the top 10 on the iTunes Reggae chart and the top 100 on the Billboard Reggae chart. A couple of weeks prior to his death, Perry released his last song, No Bloody Friends. The song was a collaboration with Raul Stone, and it was released on the 13th of August 2021. Death. Perry died on 29th August 2021 at the Noel Holmes Hospital in Lucia, Jamaica, from an unspecified illness, aged 85. He had a net worth of $3 million before his death. Lee Perry's legacy lies in his fearless creativity and groundbreaking innovations that push the boundaries of sound and music production. He remains a towering figure in music history, celebrated for his enduring impact on reggae, dub, and global music culture. Please subscribe for more celebrity stories.